That's what's so weird. It's like, as a screenwriter, you got to be careful about how you describe characters that you want people to play. Because they're going to be like, you know, you might hire a dude to play a gay guy and he might come back at you like, well, so what are you trying to say? I look like I'm gay? Like, you never know what people going to say.
Yeah, you don't want to fall into anything where somebody can say you're stereotyping.
Correct. So it's kind of weird where we're at now in filmmaking, in society in general.
You got to be very cautious.
You have to be very cautious of what you say, how you present it to people. If you're going to have a woman be, you know, sassy, you got to explain her sassiness because she might have an issue with it. Why you got me playing this black woman talking all this shit and all that? Like, it can become an issue now.
Yeah. If you have those conversations, have them verbally. And please make sure you're not being recorded. You need plausible deniability.
You do. So wrapping this film up is one of my favorites from childhood. It's one that I used to watch with my parents. I didn't understand it back then, but I understand it now. Yes, it does have its flaws. Yes, it does have its things in there. It just don't make no sense. Certain things happen that just don't make no sense.
Too convenient. Too convenient.
But I still love it. It will always be a classic to me. Not a perfect classic, just a classic in the sense of what a classic is. So I'm going to ask you this. On a scale from 1 to 10, what do you rate a piece of the action?
I give it a solid 7.
Solid 7? Yeah, that's fair. See? Yeah. Filmmakers, we rate shit the right way.
7. Because despite its flaws, it works.
It does. And I kind of agree. Now, you just shocked me with the 7. I was going to give it a 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a solid 8.
Those convenient moments that move the story forward, as you're watching it, especially when you watch it when you're younger, it's entertaining. As you watch it as a filmmaker, you be like,
yeah.
But you still like it. But you're still going to be like, come on. And out of the whole trilogy, it is number 3.
Correct.
I agree. Know what I'm saying? It is number 3. But I do kind of wonder why they didn't come back and, at least in the 80s, give us a number 4. Or even in the early 90s, why they didn't give us the 4th one.
That's true. I
don't know if they ran out of gas by that time creatively, but if they'd gave us another one in the 80s or even the early 90s, it still could have worked.
I agree. I
would love to speak to somebody about, like, was there some behind the scenes drama or something, like why they didn't go to the well again?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. Sometimes as a director, we think about stuff like that. Like, even when I found out the little tidbit about Will Smith wanting to remake it, I'm like, why didn't that happen?
Yes.
It seemed like that would have been a perfect
hugely
thing.
Successful.
It would have been huge.
I don't know. Maybe Eddie might have been reluctant because I know that was the original goal of Harlem Nights, was to make this mega film with all the legends, Red Fox,
Richard
Pryor, this and that. And him and Richard Pryor actually ended up falling out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they never got back cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they actually fell out on Harlem
during the shoot of Harlem Nights. I did not know that.
And because Richard Pryor was Eddie Murphy's idol.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what even Robert Townsend, like, if you pay attention watching Harlem Nights, I mean, not Robert Townsend, he died. Baby Kids.
Oh, Robin Harris.
Yeah, like, if you really look around, everybody's in that movie.
Yes, everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Yeah, but apparently they fell apart. And they never made up.
I did not know that. Damn, that's deep. Okay, so the name of the show is The Main Ingredient. So, in your opinion, what was the number one main ingredient in this film that made you feel the way you feel about the film, that made you love it or hate it? What was the number one thing?
The one thing I love is that the significance of Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby on the screen together. Yeah. That was just always magical. Like Uptown Saturday Night was my mother's favorite movie. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of my family liked, Let's Do It Again. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of default went to, I like a piece of action. But the thing is that seeing them movies and seeing them two dudes, especially at they peak. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They was huge. I mean, Bill went to a whole nother dimension.
Yeah, Bill went
show after that, but they were both huge. Yeah. And they both meant, like, if I saw Sidney Poitier on the screen, it was me like, man, that's Sidney Poitier. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm older now, I'm more jaded, so there's not a lot of cats that can walk across the screen now, and I'd be like, man, go ahead.
Yeah, not a lot.
As a kid in the 70s, seeing Sidney Poitier, and of course Bill Cosby with the Cosby Kid, he was larger than life to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why it'd be so tragic, you know, how when the curtain was revealed behind the wizard,
what he was really about.
But at that stage of my life, when that dropped, and even as a teenager, young adult, seeing Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier on the screen, just doing their thing.
Yeah.
They wasn't necessarily cooning, they wasn't shucking and jiving.
No, they wasn't cooning at all.
There was nothing for me to watch and be embarrassed of.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, they went out.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the main ingredient of why seeing two raw brothers doing their thing unapologetically that's the main ingredient for me.
Yeah, my main ingredient for this is almost the same thing. It's like seeing those two with a young James Earl Jones at their height in the film together that reached this amount of success. That was major for me to see as a young black kid. And I remember seeing the trilogy, all 3 of their movies with my parents, and my parents just enjoying the moment.